Yeah, okay, good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Dropping heat like every season. Underdog like Willie Beeman. Classic like Dom singing. Blasting like bombs.
This is QB Corner, where Zane and I rank the top 10 quarterbacks from the previous week going into the next week based on level of difficulty, the feeling in our balls, and statistical greatness. Let's jump in. Number one, I have a top five and then everything, top six, and then everything after that you can kind of convince me. So I've got Lamar at one, Goff at two, Josh Allen at three, Russ Wilson surprisingly at four, Geno Smith at five, and then Marcus Mariota at six. And then after that, you can kind of convince me. Lamar put up, where is he here? I don't even think I wrote him down. No, I did. He was 17 for 22, 281 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, 52 rushing yards on 9 rushes. So, I mean, that feels pretty one guy to me. Then Goff, 22 for 25, another great stat line, 280, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, just clean game, worked, and then the level of difficulty against the Vikings. So I've got him at 2. Josh Allen was 21 for 33, 323, hit the 300 mark, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Granted, they played the Titans.
Yeah. Level of difficulty there.
Less level of difficulty, but no interceptions, which is what he should do, and then a bunch of yards. So I don't hate it. What do you think of the top 3? Let's start there.
Top 3, I don't hate it. I mean, Lamar threw for 5 flipping touchdowns. I mean, obviously he's good. He has to be. Yeah. He has to be there. Even though Jared Goff has been on an incredible run, it's 5 touchdowns. God. All right, S tier. S tier.
Yeah, when you said best year he's played.
Yeah, and what's funny is that it doesn't feel like it because Derrick Henry's there. You see every clip about Derrick Henry getting the long run, Derrick Henry doing everything, but then you look at it and you're like, God damn, Lamar's playing amazing with people like Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman, who we thought were B tier wide receivers. We didn't think he had an A tier wide receiver, and we for sure don't think that he has an A plus wide receiver.
Deep ball to Rashad to Bateman was so good.
Oh, so nice.
Good. It was so pretty.
I didn't know he had that in him. I didn't know he had the ability to throw a deep ball like that, but he does. And so, yeah, obviously he's S, and then Joe, and then Josh. I'm fine with it.
Okay. If you want to go Russell Wilson, you can, but I kind of take a little bit off because it's the Jets and they don't have Robert Saleh. The defense is kind of a mess right now. So I've got
Wilson.
There's
a lot of injuries too.
Yeah, I've got Russell Wilson at 4, 16 for 29. Not exactly the best completion percentage, but 264, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, 3 rushes, 3 yards, threw his body in the end zone for a rushing touchdown. So just did work, did what he was supposed to do. And then Geno at 5, like I said, is where I have Geno. 18 for 28, but still put up 207 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So, I always go like bananas statistical games is kind of how I look at it. Then guys who didn't have interceptions who won, and then the guys who had bananas games statistically but lost, and then just kind of everybody else is how I generally look at it, and then I kind of mix from there. So that's where I've got, and then Marcus Mariota at 6. He played a really good game, to be completely honest with you. He was 18 for 35, 205, 2 touchdowns, 34 rushing yards, no interceptions. So just clean game, won the game, did what he's supposed to do as a vet backup quarterback. And I had a really good post-game press conference and post-game interview in which he was just like, look, number one thing is, the health of our quarterback, young guy. And then after we figured out he was okay, time for me to just go ball. And that's what he did.
Yeah, he would have been White Man of the Week. If only. Okay.
So are you fine with that?
I'm fine with that. There? Who are we going to go next?
I have Love ? But then I also have Baker ?
Yeah.
Even though he lost. Because Baker put up 31 for 45, 370, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 22 rushing yards.
Yeah, I would put Jordan there just because it was against the Texans.
But he put up 2 interceptions.
I know. I know he did that. But at the same time, if you look at it, at how that game was, it was a super tight game. It was way more competitive than Baker versus Who did break probably?
Yeah, Lamar.
Lamar. It been Baker versus the Ravens. So it was he did what he needed to do to win. And when you're
Okay.
looking at CJ Stroud, who's an elite level quarterback, and how I'm pretty sure he only threw for 89 yards. And then you have another young guy on the other side of the ball who was actually able to get going, throw these touchdowns. I would put him above Baker for that because they also won as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, so then the next one, if we're gonna push Baker, I think we can push him back farther based on that then. Kyler Murray I have next at 8. He
I
was
know.
14 for 26, 145 yards, one touchdown, one interception, and then 6 rushes for 65 yards with a rushing touchdown in a really good win against the Chargers.
No,
I know you don't like him, but like
no. Baker deserves to be ahead of Kyler. He threw for 100, what'd you say, 175 yards?
145, but he put up one touchdown,
145
one
yards?
interception. He had a rushing touchdown too, and it was a really gritty win on in a spotlight game against the Chargers in prime time.
Okay, but you also have to think about this. Kyler having a rushing touchdown isn't impressive because he doesn't throw the ball. All right. All he does is scramble. And he only threw for
No, that's not
175,
true though. He's
threw a
threw for
touchdown,
like
threw
300
a
a couple
pick.
different times.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what he's throwing it to Marvin. He's not throwing it to Marvin.
You're just salty because of Marvin.
But also that stat line's ass, brother. Take out the rushing TD. That stat line's
But it's the
ass.
Chargers. But it's the Chargers. Like if we had time of possession, I think you'd look at it a little differently.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But I want Baker ahead of him.
Fine. I'm fine with
You're
it.
lucky he's even getting on this list with what he's doing to my boy.
Okay, the next one I have is Mahomes. He threw a bunch of interceptions again, but he shows up when it matters. He had 154 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, but he had 39 rushing yards, and he flat backed, absolutely pancaked one of the DBs or the safeties for the 49ers when he got into the end zone. It was like a 1 yard rush, but like, look, he just does what he needs to do. He's part of the top 10 every week that he plays, and they just win. So, I mean,
I would counter
I've
with
got him at
Sam
9.
Darnold. I'd counter with Sam Darnold. They played the goddamn Lions, and it was a close game. I would counter with Sam Darnold.
I don't know because I think you could look at you could look at Justin Herbert. He had 20. He was 27 for 39, 349, no touchdowns, no interceptions. And then there's Aaron Rodgers there too, who put up, where is Rodgers? 24 for 39, 276, one touchdown, 2 interceptions. Like I think you could go either of those guys before that,
I would
or
say
or
before
even Kyler.
Kyler's on the list already. All right.
Okay, fine.
I'm just saying that like Patrick had a very flat game. He didn't do much at all. I would say there's other quarterbacks that just deserve to be on the
But he
list.
showed up.
He shows up.
He won.
Okay. It's also like same thing with I said about Kyler, where it's like, okay, that's normal that he runs the ball. It's normal that
No, it's
normal.
not.
It's normal that Patrick shows up. All right. Like he has a shitty actually, did he show up? Did he? Or was it the
When it
defense
counted,
and everyone
yeah.
else?
When
What
it counted,
about
he
that
showed up.
stat line makes it seem that Patrick showed up?
Did you watch the game?
Guess.
No.
No,
So
I
you
didn't.
didn't really see it. Like I would still put him at 9. He's got to be on the list.
You can't just say you didn't watch the game, so now your views don't matter. Like you have to at least tell me why he showed up because from everything that I have been seeing, it's been the defense and it's been flipping Kareem Hunt that's been showing up for that team.
He did have a great game.
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, Patrick had that run, but like that's it. Like he didn't play well.
Fine. Okay, then what do you want to put Herbert there ahead of him?
Yeah, I like Herbie. I like Herbie, and he's already
349, no
there.
touchdowns, no interceptions. Okay. So then Patrick 10.
Fine, because just you want it, you want him there so bad. You want him there
I
so
do.
bad. Then fine. It's the
I do.
flipping the Kyler and the Patrick picks right now are driving me up a goddamn wall.
I'm sorry, brother. It just is what it is. Look, another little fun fact here since we left Rodgers off the list. In 2023, in week 7, the Jets with Zach Wilson were 4-3. And the Jets in week 7 of 2024 are 2-5. I'm not saying that Zach is better, but I'm saying that they rally behind their guy a little bit more. That's
Put
all
him in
I'm
for
saying.
Bo. Put him. Hey, have Bo take a week off. We'll see how Zach does. We'll see how he is. All I'm
I think
saying
he
here is
cook.
that
I think he cook.
there is two QBs on this list that threw for under 200 yards, and they're both your picks, and they're both ones that I'm against. They threw for under 200.
But Kyler played really well. He marched him down the field, did what he had to do. Same thing with Patrick. I think that most people would agree with me. Another couple spotlights here, which I just think are hilarious. Dalton, Andy Dalton threw for. We could throw, if you don't want to throw one of those guys in there, you could go Jalen Hurts. 10 for 14, 114 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, but 2 rushing touchdowns.
What is with you right now? All of a sudden, rushing TDs are like your main stat. You just threw out 3 guys that threw for under 200 yards. And you're like, we can put them up there. They won
Jalen
3
Hurts
guys. He
won.
got rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, because that quarterbacks don't do that. So look, like if you want to, that's what I'm saying. If you want to, and you're like, oh, I hate these guys, but fine, whatever. Anyways, back to my point. Funny honorable mention, not even honorable mention, just funny shit. Andy Dalton, 11 for 16, 93 yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Which was honestly better than CJ. 10 for 21, 86 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. That's unheard of for CJ.
Yeah.
And then Jameis, honestly, of the 3, had the best game, and he played the fourth quarter. He was 5 for 11.
The fourth quarter.
67 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Attaboy Jameis, baby. Can we just throw Jameis on there for honorable mention?
Yeah, I'm looking for him. I can't see him. All right, what about Drake? Drake had a pretty good game. They lost, but I mean, he's been showing up.
No.
All right, okay. I want to say, I don't know what's up with you this week, but like you're putting so much into these rushing TDs right now, like
fantasy points.
Yeah, fantasy. Yeah, but like if we're talking about like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, we don't talk about their rushing TDs. We talk about
I talk about what Lamar does all the time with rushing.
Yeah, but that's not the reason why he's S tier right now. He's because he threw that thing. That's why he's S tier. Same thing.
I know, but it's a separator. It's a separator in close game. When it comes down to the wire, I look at rushing, man. It's a separator.
I don't think it's that crazy to get a rushing touchdown as a QB. Especially you're picking scrambling QBs too. These are scrambling QBs. Like, yeah, they're gonna get some rushing TDs.
Look, the day that Jared Goff has a rush, he'll be S.
He is.
He should win MVP the day he has a rushing touchdown. All right.
Yeah, for real. All right, but
okay. So Lamar, Goff,
Allen,
Wilson, Gino, Marcus, Love, Baker, Kyler, and then Justin is our 10. So Patrick is honorable mention.
Yeah, well, let's move him down here. Actually, you're insane, dude.
There's the QB corner for this week. All right, guys. We're tired. We're so done. We got a week till Zane arrives here in Colorado, and you guys get to see actual good podcasts from this point on. So if you feel so inclined, go ahead and like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't. Comment your bullshit. We don't care. He's going to read it. I won't. Again, I'm Devin. That's Zane, and this is Buffet Sports. It's all you can eat, baby. Gang tackle.